In the bustling metropolis of Neo City in the year 2257, an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity prevailed. Skyscrapers pierced the sky, adorned with glass facades reflecting the vibrant neon glow of advertisements. Hover cars navigated the skyways with remarkable precision thanks to advanced anti-gravity technology. On this fateful afternoon, the city buzzed with its usual hustle and bustle, its inhabitants unaware of the impending calamity looming above. High above the earth, concealed by advanced stealth tech, hovered a massive Cretan starship. The Cretans, known for their militaristic conquests, intended to utilize Earth as a strategic waypoint in their ongoing campaign against a rival star empire. However, a catastrophic navigational error positioned the ship directly above Earth's orbit. On the bridge, Commander Zorak, a grizzled Cretan, paced relentlessly as he issued orders to his crew, who, proficient in efficiency but not interstellar navigation, had miscalculated their trajectory. Demanding confirmation for the drop coordinates, Zorak's voice resonated with gravelly authority. A nervous technician complied, his claws clicking against the control panel. Despite realizing that the designated drop site corresponded to inhabited New York City, Zorak dismissed the concern, insisting on proceeding with the drop for the sake of testing the mutant war beasts in a populated area. Unbeknownst to the oblivious citizens below, containment pods were released from the belly of the starship, hurtling towards Earth and impacting various locations across the city, including Central Park, Times Square, and the banks of the Hudson River, setting the stage for an imminent disaster. Unleashed upon the city, the mutant war beasts emerged, towering over 10 feet with armored skin resembling wet tar, their malevolent red eyes scanning the environment with primal hunger. Each beast possessed unique abilities. Some breathed fire while others wielded morphing limbs as deadly weapons. The first screams echoed as the beasts rampaged through New York City, tearing through streets with ferocious intensity, tossing cars aside and clawing buildings apart as panic-stricken civilians fled in terror. As chaos engulfed the city, news of the alien invasion spread globally, shaking human complacency to its core. Amidst the horror, a young scientist named Serena watched with determination brewing in her heart. From her laboratory window, she knew that understanding the beasts held the key to stopping them. Armed with her research equipment, she ventured into the chaos, driven by a resolve to turn the tide of the unforeseen war, igniting humanity's fight for survival against a threat from beyond the stars. In the midst of the pandemonium, the NYPD and the Earth Defense Force, EDF, scrambled to respond. Captain Alara, leading the EDF, orchestrated a strategic defense, knowing standard firearms would be futile against the beast's ferocity and adaptability. Evacuating civilians and engaging the creatures with heavy weaponry became the priority, with makeshift barricades erected and sonic cannons repurposed to disorient the beasts temporarily. Meanwhile, Serena, amidst the chaos, navigated towards Times Square to collect a DNA sample from an isolated beast, weaving through debris and evading panicked crowds, determined to unravel the mystery behind the creature's origins and weaknesses. In a side street momentarily vacated by the beast, Serena swiftly deployed a drone, skillfully maneuvering it around the massive creature to collect skin cells from abrasions caused by the skirmish. Just as the drone returned with the sample, the beast reeled from the effects of a nearby sonic cannon, diverting its attention momentarily. With the sample secure, Serena rushed back to her mobile lab, a reinforced van parked outside the main conflict zone. As she prepared the sample for analysis, her mind raced with possibilities. How could this genetic information turn the tide of the battle? Meanwhile, Captain Lana observed the effectiveness of the sonic cannons and made a decisive call to increase frequency and amplitude, pushing the beasts back into less populated areas where they could be dealt with more safely. As the battle wore on, for every beast that fell, another seemed to take its place, each more aggressive than the last. Despite overwhelming odds, the combined forces of the NYPD and EDF managed to save thousands of lives by evacuating civilians to underground shelters and fortified buildings. As night fell over the besieged city, Marcus, a retired EDF sergeant, emerged as a leader among the survivors. Gathering neighbors, local police officers, and willing fighters, he established a network of resistance cells across the borough. In his makeshift command center, Marcus addressed a group of men and women, emphasizing their advantage, their intimate knowledge of the city streets. With determination in their hearts, they prepared to take back their city from the alien threat that had descended upon them. Armed with scavenged weapons and homemade explosives, Marcus's group initiated hit-and-run attacks on the war beasts, focusing on drawing them into prepared ambush sites where improvised explosive devices could maximize their effect. Each successful attack bolstered the morale of the resistance fighters and provided valuable experience. Meanwhile, Serena, the scientist, delved deeper into her analysis of the genetic sample she had secured. Her findings revealed an unexpected anomaly in the DNA of the beasts, a specific genetic sequence seemingly regulating their aggressive behavior. Recognizing the potential of her discovery, Serena reached out to her former professor, Dr. Victor, a genetic engineering specialist. Operating from a secure lab in upstate New York, Dr. Victor responded with keen interest, suggesting the possibility of synthesizing a pheromone to alter the beast's aggression levels. As Marcus's resistance grew and coordinated efforts with the remnants of the EDF and NYPD intensified, Captain Lana Rhodes provided tactical support and intelligence, creating a unified front against the invaders. In a notable operation, Marcus's team successfully lured 3 war beasts into Central Park, where they engaged in a fierce battle rigged with explosives and sonic traps. Despite the cost, the beasts were ultimately defeated, securing a significant area of the city and establishing a temporary safe zone. This victory galvanized the city's morale, inspiring other civilian groups to organize and fight back. As Marcus and Lana prepared for the next major operation, Serena and Dr. Victor worked tirelessly on developing a new weapon, the sonic device targeting a specific receptor in the beast's DNA. With the resolve of New Yorkers and the human spirit to reclaim their city, hope flickered amidst the darkness of the invasion. The following morning, Serena arrived at the EDF headquarters, a heavily fortified area that had remained largely intact amidst the chaos. Inside the makeshift command center bustling with military activity, she presented her findings to a panel of top military scientists and strategists. Using detailed simulations and genetic charts, Serena demonstrated how the sonic device could potentially work. The device would emit high-frequency sound waves specifically designed to interact with the beast's unique genetic receptor, overloading their sensory pathways and causing confusion or temporary paralysis. Initially skeptical, the military was desperate for a new strategy and, after rigorous questioning and review of Serena's data, agreed to allocate resources to develop a prototype of the sonic weapon. A team of top engineers was assembled to work with Serena, turning her theoretical model into a functional device. Over the following weeks, they labored around the clock, testing and refining the sonic emitter through controlled experiments in the lab and contained field tests. Meanwhile, Marcus, informed of this new development, prepared his resistance fighters to incorporate the sonic weapons into their arsenal. They conducted drills and developed new tactics to complement the expected effects of the sonic emitter. As the prototype neared completion, anticipation grew among both the EDF and the resistance fighters. The device represented not just a potential turning point in the battle, but also a testament to human ingenuity and resilience in the face of an unstoppable alien threat. With New Hope armed and ready, Serena watched as the first batch of sonic emitters was deployed to the front lines, prepared to test her discovery. As night fell, the siege of Central Park was planned as a critical operation to regain control of a key strategic location. Marcus led the operation, coordinating closely with Captain Lara Rhodes to ensure synchronization between military and civilian forces. The plan involved encircling the park with teams stationed at all major entrances, each equipped with sonic emitters and heavy artillery. As the operation commenced, the sonic emitters disrupted the beast's sensory receptors, disorienting them and paving the way for a full-scale assault. Explosions lit up the night as resistance fighters and EDF troops pushed the beasts towards predetermined kill zones. Serena monitored the operation from a mobile command unit, adjusting the frequency and amplitude of the emitters in real time to maintain the upper hand. Despite the scars left on Central Park by the night's battle, the operation was a resounding success. The Resistance and EDF had managed to clear the park of the war beasts, securing a significant victory in the ongoing struggle for survival. Victory was declared by noon as EDF engineers and medical teams moved in to establish temporary bases, and tend to the wounded. The success at Central Park marked a significant turning point. Not only had the sonic weapons proven effective, but morale among the human forces had soared. News of the victory spread rapidly, inspiring other resistance cells across the city and beyond to adopt similar tactics using Serena's technology. Amidst the aftermath, Marcus and Captain Rhodes shared a moment of quiet reflection. "This is just the beginning," Marcus remarked, surveying the park. "But it's a good one," Captain Rhodes agreed. "Thanks to you, your team, and Serena's brilliance, we've got a real fighting chance now." The siege of Central Park would be remembered not just as a tactical victory, but as a symbol of human resilience and ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. However, the victory was not without complications. Troubling rumors of sabotage began to circulate within the ranks, with critical supplies disappearing and communications being jammed. Concerned about a possible mole within the EDF, Captain Rhodes initiated a discreet investigation. With the help of Lieutenant Kofi Kamathi, a trusted intelligence officer known for his analytical skills, they traced the patterns of sabotage to Major Ethan Keller, a high-ranking logistics officer with access to tactical data and supply chains. Despite Keller's seemingly impeccable record, he harbored grievances against the EDF's leadership and had established clandestine communications with the Cretans. Fearing further leaks, Captain Rhodes and Lieutenant Kamathi set a trap, feeding Keller false information about a major weapon shipment. When Keller was caught red-handed rerouting the supplies to a location known for Cretan activity, he was arrested and subjected to a military tribunal. During his interrogation, Keller revealed chilling details of his communications with the Cretans, including strategic information about Earth's defenses and the locations of key assets. The betrayal shook the EDF, leading to a thorough vetting process and stricter security measures. However, it also led to the uncovering of additional Cretan sympathizers within various human institutions, strengthening Earth's defenses and unifying the resistance and the EDF against the common enemy. As Earth's forces tightened their ranks against internal and external enemies, the war against the Cretan invaders entered a new phase. The betrayal served as a harsh reminder of the stakes involved and the depth of strategy needed to combat an enemy always watching and adapting. Despite the pain of betrayal, it galvanized the human forces, binding them together with renewed purpose and a deeper commitment to protect their world at all costs. The development of the pheromone compound, aimed at inciting aggression among the war beasts, marked a significant breakthrough. Working alongside Dr. Heinrich, Serena managed to synthesize a prototype compound designed to trigger infighting within the ranks of the beasts. Recognizing the potential of Serena's new weapon, Captain Lana Rhodes devised a city-wide operation named EcoStorm. This ambitious plan aimed to deploy the pheromone in conjunction with the sonic emitters strategically placed across New York City. Marcus, taking charge of the ground operations, organized teams to manage the emitters and deploy the pheromone dispersal units at key locations. As dusk fell, the operation commenced, taking advantage of the lower visibility and the nocturnal nature of the war beasts. The sonic emitters disoriented the creatures, guiding them towards Times Square, chosen for its open space and strategic importance. Drones piloted by EDF technicians released clouds of the synthesized pheromone, inducing hyperaggression among the beasts and causing them to turn on each other. From her command post, Captain Rhodes monitored the operation closely, receiving updates from various sectors. Despite heavy resistance and casualties, the operation proved successful. Meanwhile, Serena and Dr. Heinrich observed the effects of the pheromone remotely, noting promising initial results but acknowledging the need for further refinement. As EcoStorm drew to a close, Times Square bore witness to a significantly reduced number of war beasts, many incapacitated by the induced frenzy or the continued sonic attacks. The successful implementation of Serena's innovative weapons provided a much-needed boost to the human forces, marking a turning point in the conflict and instilling a sense of hope among Earth's defenders. However, intelligence reports indicated that the Cretans were preparing to deploy their final reserve of war beasts, anticipating the upcoming battle to be the fiercest yet. In response, Captain Rhodes convened a strategy meeting with key military leaders and Marcus, representing the civilian resistance, to plan a two-pronged defense strategy leveraging every available tool to maximize their defensive capabilities. As the alien war beasts approached, their ominous forms casting shadows on the horizon. The defenders of the city sprang into action. Times Square, still bearing the scars of the previous night's battle, became the epicenter of what many believed would be the final showdown. The beasts charged with relentless ferocity, driven by the desperation of their handlers aboard the Kraton ship in orbit. The clash erupted into a brutal melee as the Earth Defense Force, EDF, unleashed heavy artillery, while strategically placed sonic emitters disoriented the advancing ranks of war beasts. Meanwhile, Arwen, monitoring the effects of the pheromone, directed drones to drop the compound into clusters of beasts, inciting chaos and infighting among them. Throughout the day, the battle raged on, echoing with the cacophony of warfare. Marcus and his fighters, moving stealthily through the urban landscape, exploited their knowledge of the city to set traps and ambush the beasts. As night fell, a pivotal moment arrived with the appearance of an enhanced war beast, possibly a Kraton commander, launching a direct assault on the main EDF barricade. Marcus, taking a calculated risk, led a squad to plant a specially prepared explosive on the beast, penetrating its thick armor. The detonation finally brought down the monstrous creature, shattering the morale of the remaining Kraton forces. As the battle reached its climax, the last of the war beasts fell or fled, marking a hard-fought victory for Earth's defenders. In the aftermath, amidst the exhaustion and relief, Captain Rosalind and Marcus surveyed the city, their faces marked with both fatigue and pride. The victory was not just a military triumph but a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. As New York began the process of recovery and rebuilding, leaders like Rosalind and Marcus assumed pivotal roles in ensuring the city's security and unity. Arwen, now focused on advancing human knowledge about alien biology, joined forces with Dr. Henrik and other scientists to found the Earth Advanced Research Network. Together, they delved into the study of Kraton technology and biology, exploring humanity's place in the cosmos. As life returned to normalcy, the city held a remembrance ceremony to honor the fallen and celebrate the indomitable spirit of its people. Amidst the crowd, Arwen and Dr. Henrik shared a moment, reflecting on the journey they had embarked upon. A journey of resilience, unity, and the boundless potential of humanity's future.